Hello everyone and welcome to another vlog video. Today I'm going on a very long walk in the woods and I'm hoping to find some mushrooms, chestnuts and maybe something else as well. Autumn is in full swing and foraging for mushrooms, nuts, wild berries and herbs is a great way to enjoy the season. I thought I'd take you along with me. The second part of this video will be a perfume haul, so you can skip the first part if you're not interested. Now I'll put on some music. Enjoy! Hello again and welcome to the second part of this video, which is a perfume haul. I purchased 2 new fragrances that I really wanted for a very long time, and I thought I'd give you my first impressions, but I'll definitely do dedicated reviews in the future. So the first fragrance that I purchased is Chanel No. 5, the Pure Perfume, not the EDP, not the EDT, but the Pure Perfume, the Parfum, the Extrait de Parfum. This is the most concentrated and the most expensive version of No. 5, and in my humble opinion, also the best formulation of Chanel No. 5. It smells absolutely magical, divine. I used to have the EDP. It was a bit too soapy for me. I liked it, but it was just too soapy. But this one is so much richer, so much deeper. I unknowingly purchased a vintage bottle, probably from the 80s. It has no ingredients on the box, no barcode, no nothing. So it must be from the 80s. It arrived sealed. I wouldn't have bought it if it hadn't been sealed, just so you know. I would not recommend purchasing pure perfumes or any dabber bottles that are not sealed, because once you open this, it will go bad. This is probably 30 years old. And it's in perfect condition. It smells exactly like Chanel No. 5. It truly smells like Chanel No. 5. You know, Chanel No. 5 hasn't really changed in all these years. It still smells like Chanel No. 5. What can I tell you? If you don't know what Chanel No. 5 smells like, go and try it, please. Do yourself a favor and try it. And if you can, try the Pure Perfume, because it's so much better than the EDP, just in my opinion. I'll probably pick up a bottle of the EDP just to have something to wear, to spray on. But this one is truly special. It's very intimate, don't get me wrong. This does not have huge projection or huge sillage. It sits close to the skin, but it's absolutely divine. It's strong, it's potent. It creates a nice scent bubble, but it won't fill a room. So don't expect it to. If you want something strong that will fill a room, just get the EDP, or even better, the EDT. The EDT has huge sillage, but it's not as long lasting as the pure perfume or the EDP. In terms of scent, this scent is a paradox. It's very hard to describe. It defies explanation. It defies description. But it's classified as an aldehydic floral. It's so much more than that. I won't really get into the notes in this video. I'll do a full dedicated review. But I will tell you that I can smell lots of animalic, almost indolic jasmine. It's slightly animalic. I can smell the civet. And in this particular version, they probably used the real deal, the real animalic civet, because back in the 70s and the 80s, they were still using the real stuff. Nowadays, we have to use alternatives for ethical reasons, which makes sense to me. I also want to say that the scent is very powdery once it dries down, and it's also quite vanillic, and it's actually quite sweet. This is not a dry, bitter scent. So that's why I really like it. You know, some vintage fragrances, some green vintage fragrances are just too dry, too bitter, too astringent. I do like a dry green vintage chypre from time to time, but I enjoy a little bit of sweetness in my fragrances. So there you go. That's Chanel number 5, Parfum, the pure perfume vintage bottle. Moving on to the second scent, I also picked up a bottle of Shalimar, the Eau de Toilette. I've smelled Shalimar over the years several times. I've always liked it, but for some reason I never picked up a bottle. I tried to love the EDP. The EDP was just too much for me. It was too leathery, too smoky. It made me feel dirty. I didn't like it on myself, even though I enjoyed smelling it from a distance. But one day I read on Fragrantica that the EDT was supposed to be much softer, more wearable, and it doesn't contain the leather note that the EDP does. So I was very curious to try this. I did try it a couple of times in store, and I finally decided to get a bottle when I saw it for a good price on Notino. And I'm glad I got it. This is perfection in a bottle. It's a soft, plushy vanilla fragrance with iris, with that signature Guerlain DNA that is not overwhelming for me, and it has lots of bergamot in the opening. It smells amazing. It's your classic Shalimar without that leather, without the smokiness. Maybe it still has some smokiness, but it doesn't bother me. On my skin, this is just divine. I'm glad I picked it up. I've been wearing it for a few days. I absolutely love it. So if you dislike the EDP of Shalimar, definitely check out the EDT, because yes, it's very similar to the EDP, but on my skin, it just does something that the EDP doesn't. And I wore this for several hours. It didn't bother me. It made me feel amazing. I enjoyed smelling it on myself, and I really, really recommend it. The performance is actually really good. This lasts all day on my skin, but it only projects for about 4 to 5 hours, I would say, because, you know, it's an eau de toilette. It is vintage smelling, but it also smells kind of classic and timeless, and it's just one of those fragrances that I've always enjoyed. So I don't know what to tell you. If you think Shalimar is too vintage smelling, I disagree. I think that some fragrances from the 70s and 80s have more of a vintage vibe than Shalimar. Shalimar is just timeless, you know. Bergamot, iris, vanilla, tonka bean, a bit of amber. It's a classic. It will never go out of style, and I'm so glad I picked up a bottle. So that's Shalimar from Guerlain, the Eau de Toilette. And I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts on Chanel number 5 and Shalimar and their classics. Everyone either loves them or hates them. So please, before you leave, give this video a like, leave me a comment down below, and consider subscribing to my channel. I post every week. sometimes twice a week, and I talk about vintage, affordable and designer fragrances here on this channel. So thanks for watching, have a nice weekend, goodbye.